morning, boys. I'm here to talk you through your download, which I set for you to do this week for your history, just to see how you've done in lockdown and to give you an idea of what stage you're at. Now, we are quite happy to be flexible with these marks. I know quite a lot of you don't have your books with you and haven't been able to revise from those, so we are going to take that in mind when we have a look at your writing. And I'm going to talk you through how to actually answer the questions. And then if you set yourself an hour to complete the questions on this paper, then that'll be enough time for you. So you'll have 6 questions in total. This is just half of your paper 1. This is just the America section. So you can see your first questions here, second questions down there, third, fourth, fifth and sixth at the bottom of the screen. So what I'd like you to do first of all is take a look at these 2 interpretations. You'll need to look at them and read them carefully for the first 3 questions. And what you need to do for the first question, how does this one, interpretation A, differ from this one, interpretation B? So you literally just need to write down 2 ways that these interpretations differ. Now this question is worth 4 marks. So you just need 2 ways that the interpretations differ. So what I've got my year 11s to do is take a highlighter and just highlight in the text where there's a difference. So for example, I should not change that colour. For example, you might say this one talks about advertising, getting a wrong picture of women's lives. And actually, in reality, many women did their own housework. However, this one talks about the main female character of a fictional novel, Great Gatsby, going to parties. So clearly, these 2 sources are saying very different things about the women's lives. So that's what you have to do for question 1. Just tell me the differences. Question 2, 4 marks as well. What you need to do for this question is take your highlighter and just have a look at the description. Here I've written in italics. Okay, so we need to think about why they're different. Okay, so Doris here for interpretation A is writing about the 1920s. She's a journalist, she campaigns for women's rights, and she's refusing to accept that all women's lives improved. So if she is questioning what the women's status in the 1920s, she's not going to just say that everything's fine, is she? She's going to start to try and dig out the truth behind it. Whereas Great Gatsby was written by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and he is writing to try and emphasize the new things that women are up to. And if he writes boring things that that they're still stuck doing the housework, then he's not going to sell very many novels. So think about why he might say exciting things to try and gain more money for his book. So again, just 2 things. Why are these sources, interpretations, saying different things? Now the next question is probably the hardest question on this entire paper. You need to think about which one is most convincing. Now I want you to take convincing, and basically what that means is accurate. Type that in for you. And by that I mean also true to the history. So what we're doing is we're working out of these 2, which one is most true, most similar to what we know about what's gone on. So what you need to do for the first interpretation is just write down what you know that confirms this source, that says this source is true. Okay, and then you do the same for the next source. What does this one, so I'm calling them interpretations, that's what I should be calling them. For this one, what makes this one true to the history? So why is that one accurate? Why is that one convincing and telling the truth about what's going on? Okay, and at the end you need to do a short summary of which one you think is most convincing, because that's what the question's asking you. Next question, it's a nice one. Describe 2 problems faced by enforcing prohibition. This is another 4-mark question. So just 2 things. Just write down why prohibition was difficult for the police to make sure that people followed, why it was difficult to keep up that ban of alcohol. Now, next one is an 8-mark question. You need to tell me in what ways that live Americans were affected by the Wall Street crash. So here I'm looking for 2 paragraphs. It's about a page of writing if you're handwriting, probably about just over half of your typing. So I'm looking for you to explain how the Americans' lives were changed by the Wall Street crash, and where the Wall Street crash started the Depression in the 1930s. So you can use that to help you there. Now this question here is a 12-mark question. It's a final question. This is kind of the essay question, what examiners call the grade decider. So for 12 marks, obviously remember we say 1 paragraph for every 4 marks. So that makes this one 3 paragraphs. You see 1 paragraph on this bullet point, another paragraph on the second bullet point, and then a conclusion that tells you, or tells me when I'm marking it, which was the most important reason, main reason that caused change for Americans' lives. So you need to tell me how the Second World War changed lives. You could tell me about the Double V campaign, where African Americans were standing up for their rights and wanting to achieve equality. For one example, you could talk about the employment of women, employment for everybody in America, like basically nobody went unemployed. And you could talk about the development of popular culture in your second paragraph. Here you're thinking about the role of TV, you're thinking about the role of rock and roll, you're thinking about the changes that those things inspired in teenagers, for example, and how that impacted on people's lives and how that started to get them thinking about the American dream and those opportunities that were out there. Okay, and then you need that conclusion, as I said, to tell me which was the main reason why Americans' lives changed in the 1950s. So that's a brief overview of what you need to do for each of the 6 questions. What I'll save on Show My Homework for you as well is this document. Okay, it's currently 4 pages. I'm going to save it as 1. You just need this one here, which gives you some sentence starters. It gives you some tips about what you need to do if you're aiming for a 7, 8, 9 grade, the top levels, but it also gives you some support about middle grades as well. So use that to help you. I will make sure that's saved up there for you as well. Take 1 hour to complete your work. Either complete it by hand on a piece of paper and take a photo of that and send that to your teacher, upload it to Show My Homework, or type it straight onto a Microsoft Word equivalent. So good luck. Send me a comment if it doesn't work or there's some problem or you need some help in some way. Of course, we are there to support you. Let us know how it goes.